Hey, I'm Kev. Welcome back to MotoGP 18, where Mario's not on a good run after that winning streak near the halfway mark of the season. He's entered the second half of it, not in good form. Well, in Austria he's doing well, and then, of course, an accident happened. But can he bounce back round the fast and fearsome Silverstone circuit in Great Britain? As here goes Mario then for the first of three possible qualifying efforts, as he's got to beat Baldassarre's 205 points. Number of the devil, it looks like 666, as Mario's already screwed up in Gops. As you can see, he's actually doing a bit early this time with 20 minutes remaining in this session. Just seeing if he can avoid the last ditch traffic. Just seeing if he can put in a good of that time. And then see if it gets beaten. He can put in like a 204. Let's see if anyone comes to trounce it, as it's a bit behind Baldassarre at the moment after that mistake. But definitely looks like again sectors 1 and 3 will be his best. 2 and 4 he might be struggling in. Unlike Austria last time, where it's just sector 2 is really struggling. He's just struggling to get around the track at times though. Struggling with traction and braking. And despite fully upgraded brakes, again he's just muddied that corner. Almost loses the bike there. Banny's up though. Maybe sector 2 is good as well then. It's just going to be the last sector where Mario is going to be struggling. As he go through Abbey and Farm there. Very difficult. In through the village and the loop. Just a bit wide. In through Aintree onto the one into the straight. Apparently he's half a second up. That can't be right. He wasn't that good in that set. So as now we head towards Brooklands and Luffield and Woodcote. Some classic corners on this Silverstone circuit now. Especially this Luffield, trying to get on the power through there. Have to be so patient. In Woodcote, which is easy flat even on a Moto2 bike. As predicted, Mario did a 207.2, so nowhere near the top. So he goes through Cops, that's much better. He actually hit, well, he didn't hit the AU bits, but he actually stayed on the right amount of tarmac. The right kind of tarmac. Same through Maggots and Beckett's. Just got to flow with the corners. Apparently he's now 1.2 up. That can't be right. The Silverstone is one of those circuits where you build up the margin and then you just watch it wither away. It feels like as that goes on. So that's very wide for Mario. The bike didn't like getting on the power either. In the there's no marbles replicated, but off the racing line, it's not good. And again, he's bugged it up through Velt. He's chasing the bike through Club. How is he still 1.3 up apparently? I have no idea. Once again, it's now been a poor lap. That's better through Farm. Being a bit more aggressive on the power has. That was not good. Apex though, taking all the curb in Village. In through Aintree. No wonder he's 3/10 down, as now Remy Gardner's at the top. Now it's Oliveira, 203.3. 203? Just want to get into the fours. It's how the big boys are fighting already at the top. Well, this plan's gone out the window, hasn't it? This looks like it's going to be a 204.5. Go through the final corner. 205 flat. 1.7 seconds back. Well, that's much better through Cops. This is a final lap as well, remember. 3 bites at the cherry. He's going to be playing with his food at the moment as Mayo. Let's see if he can take a solid chunk out of it. That's a much better first sector. Through Chapel, onto the hanger straight. The infamous hanger straight, because you got Stowe coming out where we've seen a number of moves over the years. And that's better. He actually went towards the apex. It's very bumpy there as well, as you saw the bike. Really riding those bumps. As once again, deep into Vale, even though you braked on time. I think it might be getting down to first gear is the issue there. So at least we know how to fix that for the race. As now he's a second down. So maybe the first and third sectors in round here. Well, the second sector would be nice for Mayo as well, but he hasn't made it nice. So go into Village. Once again taking a lot of curb. And into the loop. Nice on the power, bit wide for entry. Zabani's 8 tenths down on Bindenau's 203.3. That's better into Brooklands. Actually, like hit an apex for once on this lap. But in the second half of this lap, once again has been pretty poor compared to the first half. But through Woodcote, let's see if it's a 203 or 204.2. As it's Binder beating his teammate for once to pole by just 38 thousandths of a second in Bagnaia, with a VO46 crew rounding out the front row ahead of Baldassari, Marquez and Mir. In Verge, Shirotto and Passini round out the third row ahead of Sam Lowe's on home turf. In 10th ahead of Agata once again in 11th. He's very consistent recently, hasn't he? And Remy gone in 12th in Quartero, McDonald in 14th, just 2 tenths of a top 10 place off the third row of Bassini, but instead he is 5 or 6 places back, a couple of rows further back. That could be vital at the start, and he's alongside his old teammate Fanardi. I'm sure they get along like a house on fire in turn 1. Then we've got Ika, Navarro and Locatelli, Marini, Isaac Vinales round at the top 20, Joe Roberts, good qualifying on the NTS. And then Nakashima, Corsi and Odendal, then Hector Barbara down the all in 25th, Danny Kent in 26th, not last for his home race, which is always a win for him on that speed up. Then Paoli in 27th, Dinello Granado and Bent Snyder down in 30th on the Tech 3 ahead of Fugalini, Crudin and Mandy. So what can McDonald do from 14th? He badly needs to get a top 5 at least. But here's McDonald rubbing up then at the start, waiting for these lights to go. Out has had to squint a bit from the 5th row. Well, he gets away decently, unlike Remy Gardner. As McDonald actually is back where he started in 14th. Someone has snuck by. Actually, McDonald getting by Agata as well. And he's in between Quartero, Fanardi and those. 4 wide in the middle of the Maggots and Beckett's. How is everyone still alive? So gets into Fanardi again and again. Watch out about your brake lever, McDonald. Don't want to be doing that too much. As he goes into Stowe. Actually up into 11 behind those. That would do nicely. And he gets it into Vale nicely as well. How can he take Clubwell too? It's getting a bit packed in front. That would do. Bit too much on the curb maybe, but at least he made it through there. There's definitely too much on the curb. As he goes through farm, almost into the back of those, but sets up the move into Village, does he? Just about on the Brit. As they're 4 wide in front, and those decides to dive back by. Not just down the inside of McDonald, down the inside of is that Baldassari in front down in 10th. Not having a good start is the Italian. Someone tries to take it down the inside into Brooklyn, so they go wide in front.
And now he's been forced by Ika and Remy Gardner as someone's in no man's land. Look at McDonald all over the curve, getting by everyone. Gets past Ika, up into night, past Baldassare as well. Crowd going wild over those being in 8th. Having a decent race for the first time this season, maybe. Well, decent start to a race for the first time. Don't remember him being in the top 10 or not. At the end of the first lap. Well, here comes McDonald with the tyres, all those forced wide. Well, they're done a volt in front. As they go 3 wide into the break, and so McDonald down the inside the KTM as well as whoa. Schrotter down. Kind of steered into McDonald though. That's more the German's own fault, really. It's more down the inside the KTM. As they go 3 wide. Through Club. Just about survives. McDonald up into 6th. As he gets past Binder, now he's got Oliviera in front. As Baldassare just battling with Ika for 9th. Real off race for Baldassare so far. As Piscini holding up Oliviera. Veteran Atan having another superb start to a race as McDonald gets past Mir for 5th, does he? No. Yes, no. Really trying to hold on to the bike in the early stages, McDonald. Isn't it like Olivier's getting past Piscini? And it's down the inside of Mir. Into the left field, Binder just barges by. And once again down the inside of everyone in that final corner. He does a toe 4.1. Not that much slower than Bagnai leads, 2 or 3.8. So not into the top 5 then. He's where he wants to be on this 3rd lap. But you can see 4th right in front. You can see 3rd right in front still. You've got Marquez in 2nd. Got McDonald battling hard with Piscini already through Maggots and Beckett. Getting a bit of a bumpy corner, that. You know, I swear it's not like that normally. And look at this toe from Piscini. More down the inside. Tayan holds it round the outside. Really doesn't want to give up that position. And now here comes Mir and Binder joining in the fun. Oh, back down the inside of Mir. So back into 5th, and there's a bit of a gap to Piscini, unfortunately, now. See if we can close that right back up, though. Through Farm, almost into the back of Piscini. Gained so much speed, McDonald. Down the inside of the Italian. How about into the loop? Oh, McDonald ruthless there, just running Piscini out of road. But he's up into 4th, and the top 3 are just a bit too far away at the moment. Let's see if he's got the pace to catch up to them, though. As he goes into left field. Nicely on the power. And now Supreme is through Woodcote as well. He does a tour of 3.9. He's a 2nd behind Oliviera. Bagnai still beats Marquez. And behind Piscini still rounds out the top 5. That's Schrotter down in 27th after this mistake. How costly for the German. It's into the second half of this race. McDonald looking very good through Maggots and Beckett. He's gained a couple of tenths. He's already got a 2nd gap to Piscini behind. What the hell? What are they doing back there? So McDonald wide in Stowe. Trying to get on the power as early as he can, but that back end not liking it at all. They get into Vale. Just a bit weird going down the gears. Bike doesn't like it. No, just wide in Club. And he's lost around half a second in that sector. You can see why. Bike just not reacting like McDonald would like. But he's normally good in this infield section. He goes into the loop. He's gained back a couple of tenths. There's Unendal ahead of Danny Kent for 24th. Bit wide through Brooklands. As the top three are really closing up behind Bagnaia. Olivia's caught up to Marcus. You know, sets another 203.9 despite his inconsistencies. So on to the penultimate lap of the race. Ike ahead of Baldassari, down in 10th for the Italian. Really losing out in the championship. A bit like McDonald has the previous couple of races. Big winner at the moment is Oliviera in 3rd. He's now going to make himself an even bigger winner by getting past at least Marquez these last couple of laps. So much more cautious into Stowe. In the workouts. Oh, Ika down from that battle for 9th. As once again, just inconsistency downshifting into that corner. That is weird. It's the only corner where the engine braking doesn't seem to react at all. And then see McDonald's lost 7 tenths in that sector. Right there, engine braking helped a treat to get it down into farm. Or to village, should I say. Now into the loop. There's Marini down. Not scoring any points today. It's McDonald's teammate, and he's gained a couple of tenths back in sector 3 again. A bit wide again in Brooklands. Bit slow in Luffield. There's Bent Snyder ahead of Fugolini. Those two approach to go on to the final out of this race. The top 3 still right all together. Not desperately trying to join in. Just not quite got the consistency to do that. That's what it seems like having the pace. This is the closest he's been so far at the end of the first sector. Less than 6 tenths behind Oliviera, but not quite in slipstream range. Unfortunately. I bet he wishes this race could have lasted another lap, maybe. It's Danny Kemp battling for a top 20 on home turf. Oh, and Oliviera wide in front. Oh, there the engine braking worked a bit. Then unsettled the rear as well. It's out of club. Gap's only 7 tenths. This is looking good for McDonald. Into the 3rd and last sector, remember. Very good through Woodcote. Could nick a position or two to the line if he can stay this close. as he's caught half a second back. Once again, just out of slipstream range. But gets it into the apex of Brooklands. Now into Luffield. He gets a good run off here. Could maybe sneak ahead of Olivier, but I don't think it's good enough. Go towards the line, just not enough, but good final lap. At least he got it together finally. If only got it together the previous couple, that could have nicked a podium, but still. We'll take 4th from 14th, especially as it was his teammate Bagnaia who wins the race ahead of Marquez and Oliveira. So Oliveira only gains back a couple of points in the title races. McDonald in the end just a second behind his teammate, just a 10th behind Oliveira. Marquez, well done to him, just sitting in second the whole of the race, did the fastest lap as well. And only the top 4 went under the 204 barrier, so just so McDonald did have the pace there, perhaps not just the consistency over all of the corners, otherwise he could have been right up there and winning the race. But Bazzini rounds out the top 5, superb outing from the Italian ahead of Binder. Lemire lows in 8th, but a home result ahead of Baldassari down in 9th. That's not good for the Italian. Verge rounds out the top 10 of Remy Gardner, good recovery after that poor start. Locatelli Ica after his full recovery to grab some points ahead of Isaac Vinales, and Simone Corsi grabs the final point ahead of Dominic Agater. Has round out the top 20. Nakashima wins that battle ahead of Danny Kent. Where was the Brit though? In last. What? Speed up, don't be looking at that result with quarter hour and 30 seconds as well. So McDonald still leads the challenge at this time by just 8 points ahead of Olivier Baldassari. Despite his poor result, it's still just 18 points back. Marcus less than 2 race wins behind, 49 behind, so maybe still can't rule out the Spaniard. You never know with how the results have been going lately, if he could drag himself back into it. Bagnaia in 5th, 71 points back, probably too far back, but at least he's creating a gap to Binder behind. He's up to 6th now ahead of Verge and Shirotta by a couple of points. Then Passini, Mir rounds out the top 10, Ica ahead of Marini into 12th, those ahead of Navarro into 13th. Simone Corsi up to 17th ahead of Dominic Agater, and Isaac Vinales with his first points of the season up to 21st ahead of Romano Fanati. There's Fugalini getting the wooden spoon. So McDonald, he achieved the race objective, was poor in qualifying though. Now he's up to level 19 everything and level 91 for the lean angle, and he still gets some development points for his team. Has in MotoGP, Marquez ahead of Dovi and Rossi. In Moto3, Bezzecchi winning of Martin and Bastianini. So let's look at bike development then. So can we develop anything on the suspension? Doesn't look like it. Anything on the frame? Doesn't look like it. Aerodynamics? Not quite. We might increase top speed. I think that's probably something I'm going to try and do. Increase our aerodynamic penetration, as you saw we were kind of lacking in Silverstone. And it maybe contributed to McDonald winning a couple of races near the end of his time with KTM last season. As let's see what he can do around his home race. He still leads the championship, but it's getting mighty close with Olivier, the reigning champ. Can he grab a home victory and just ease the pressure on himself next time? Sam Fortune, we'll find out if he does then.